There comes a moment in the journey when it all falls into place. Not because we planned it, but because love had an ulterior motive all along we were being prepared to see. This is that moment for me. I'm Giselle Gamby, coach, mentor, and podcaster, and this is the Intuitive Pull Podcast Season 6. This season is for the ambassadors, the evolutionary leaders, the ones who dare to go first, the ones whose mission it is to lead from the consciousness of love and break the sound barrier of what is possible. This is for those who know they are part of something greater, and for those who never thought they were. My intention is that Season 6 will change your life, that it will activate your mission and liberate you to lead from the abundance of your wisdom and be in your full-bodied self-expression no matter what, because love is the ultimate mastermind. Hello, Intuitive Pull community. Today I want to talk about the power of your presence. And I want to propose a question to you. Can the power of your presence create results beyond the results that you've experienced to date? And what is even the power of your presence? Do you even know? Are you able to define what the power of your presence is? The power of your presence is an energetic exchange. It's the frequency of your authentic beingness. It's the frequency of your soul expressed here in human form. It's the feeling that someone has when they're in relationship with you. It's a feeling experience that people receive when they're in your presence. And it's an energetic projection out into the universe that then receives a reflection back from the universe. The power of your presence. Just feel that. The power of your presence. Open yourself up in this moment with me to the power of your presence. Maybe in this moment, you can take this moment to feel the power of your presence. Maybe you can begin to define it in this moment with me. The power of your presence. Maybe you can see aspects of the power of your presence that you haven't acknowledged before. Maybe you can be in reverence in this moment with me to the power of your presence. The power of our presence has been a theme that has been playing in my world over the last couple of weeks, and it was catalyzed by a one-on-one session that I had with somebody who started to speak about the power of our presence in our conversation. And in that conversation, as she was speaking out from a deep place of recognition within her about the meaningfulness of being in the power of our presence, something happened to her. And it was beyond the mind. It was an energetic, vibrational shift that occurred within her that allowed herself to embody the power of her presence. And as she embodied the power of her presence, she was saying things like, if I'm in the power of my presence, I need not concern myself about what happens going forward. Because when I am in my God self, only good can unfold from here. And that is what the being in the power of our presence ultimately is. It is about being in our God self. And it is about being in our God self with others and holding others to be in their God selves. Because when we are in the power of our presence, we are being called to step up. And in that stepping up, we are organically calling others to also step up. I received a download last week, I think it was. Pillars stand tall, for others are lagging. Be careful of the relationship dynamics, the thought patterns, and the conversations that are literally pulling you into an unconscious tug of war between love and fear. Pillars stand tall, for others are lagging. In the power of our presence, we are that pillar who is standing tall. We are standing tall in the power of our presence. So I am going to ask you here to contemplate. Do you stand tall in the power of your presence? Possibly you do. And if that is the case, then this is a moment of appreciation for self and the choices that you've been making. And if you have been standing tall in the power of your presence in this moment, have a contemplation around the profound success that has occurred as a result of that. Take a moment to appreciate the results that you have been experiencing within yourself and within the people around you that are beyond the results that you have experienced today. Take a moment to appreciate the bigger horizon energy that you have been embodying. Take a moment to appreciate that you are the field your history has prepared you for. And if you have not been embodying the power of your presence, if you don't know or haven't known what that is, if you have not even considered that the power of your presence is actually a thing, a real thing, and you have been more located in a paradigm of what you have to do and the action that you have to take and mind-based planning, then perhaps I offer you to step into the power of your humility that has forgotten about the power of your presence. Now, the power of your presence can also be fueled by fear. So again, a contemplation here. I had a nuance arrive around that download. Pillars stand tall, for others are lagging. I had a nuance pillars stand tall for others are leaking. If you have been operating from fear, if you have been operating from story, be careful of the leakages that you may have unconsciously passed on. And again, go to a place of humility for self that you'd simply forgotten. And we forget in order to remember. And if you have been pushing back on the power of your presence, if you have known about the power of your presence, and you have been pushing back on it, and we all do it, and we all have great ego reasons why we can't step into or step fully into the power of our presence. We have so many different reasons. The old who am I to, the old I'm not ready, I'm not qualified enough. I've got a story for you actually. I was on the spin bike. I love spin class with this particular teacher. And when I'm in that class, I feel like I'm in a nightclub and I get lost in the music and I just feel euphoric. And this week, the theme this week is the King of Pop and the Queen of Pop. And so the music she's been playing this week has been Michael Jackson and Madonna. I didn't know this about Michael Jackson. She said that Michael Jackson never knew how to read or write music. And he would compose the songs in his head and then he would have somebody else who knew how to write music to write it for him. And I thought, isn't that just the most perfect illustration around this illusion that we have that we must be qualified in order to X, Y, and Z? That we must be qualified before we can make good on our gifts. Isn't that the most perfect illustration? He is the highest recording artist in the world to date, and he did not know how to read or write music. So have you been pushing back on the power of your presence because you feel like you're not qualified enough? That you need to know more before you can? Have you been pushing back on the power of your presence because you're afraid of what it might create, what it might disrupt? Have you been pushing back on the power of your presence because you feel that you don't have the capacity, that there's not enough time, money, and resources, and that it has to wait, and that there are priorities that need to take place? Have you pushed back on the power of your presence because you believe the world isn't ready for it, that you won't be received? Have you pushed back on the power of your presence because you feel unworthy of it? Being in the power of our presence is the ultimate gift God, the universe, has given us. Because being in the power of our presence is being in the power of our already wholeness and completeness and our inherent value. Isn't that the ultimate gift we've been given? To come from our wholeness and completeness and our inherent value? Isn't that the ultimate gift we've been given? Especially in this world where, in our humanity, where we think that we're not good enough and that we're not worthy enough and that we're not powerful enough. This is the medicine for that. Because it's not true. This is what has been happening in my world in the last couple of weeks, as I have been present to the power of my presence, as I've been having conversations in my one-on-ones around the power of their presence. This is what I have observed. That when we are in the power of our presence, when we choose to surrender into the power of our presence, life meets us back. And with particular people that I've been speaking to, the conversation has been around how life meets us back with light speed. And so being in the power of our presence, one of the consequences of that is that what is out of integrity in our lives starts to show fractures. And it starts to show fractures so that the identity that we assume today is that we are leading from the field that our history prepared us for. Is that we are leading from the person we have become, not from the identity that worked for us and had its own consequences, 5 years back, or 2 years back, or 7 years back, or 10 years back. When we lead from the power, I've got shivers all over my head. When we lead from the power of our presence, we are being called into our evolution. Huge shivers right now. We are being called into our evolution that has already taken place. And sometimes we just need to catch up with that. And sometimes we need to bring completion to what has been unresolved within us that does not serve. We hear that expression so many times, that does not serve. And I'm being totally real right now. We are being called into completion of identities that has passed its use-by date. Again, this is the work that I've been doing. Powerful, powerful work. Once and for all. When we are being called to lead from the power of our presence, identities that we used to attach to, that we used to find our safety, perceive safety in, are called to crumble with reverence for what it gave us, but for no longer. And those woundings that would trigger us, life will still bring experiences where those woundings are triggerable, but when we have brought them to completion, they don't touch us anymore. And thus we are able to lead from the power of our presence, from the field our history has prepared us for. So I am in an experiment, a self-imposed experiment. And the experiment is, can the power of our presence create results beyond the results that we've experienced so far? In that experiment is an inherent bigger horizon energy. That bigger horizon energy may literally mean bigger visions. And it also may mean more meaningful choices. And this is what occurs when we're in the power of our presence. We are given bigger visions from that bigger horizon energy, and we are called forth into more meaningful choices. And from there, the experiment becomes real. Can we experience results beyond the results that we've experienced by being in the power of our presence? Can the power of our presence create matter, orchestrate reality, create synchronicities, just like that? In Lionsgate Portal, I was very present to the energy every day, and I was with the energy in meditation, in contemplations, in writing my notes to self every day. I was in the power of my presence, And what I was observing was moments of creation, great creation, results that occurred just like that. And when that would happen, I would notice what had happened, and I'd say, and I'd hear the words incessantly, and just like that, and just like that, and just like that. What I had been calling forward was being presented to me, and just like that, through the power of my presence. The Presence Room, a monthly 75-minute mastermind, opens next Thursday, the 28th of August at 12:30 Sydney time. I was given this vision by a very dear friend and client who has almost completed the Harvest program. She's a general manager of a hotel in Borneo, and she said to me, I have a vision for you, and I see it clearly, and I even have numbers for you, and I see many men in this vision. And when she gave me this vision, I did not even need to contemplate it. It went straight into my belly, and it was a yes. And I have created this monthly mastermind of 75 minutes being in the power of our presence. I have created it from the power of my presence. It's been a joyful experience. Imagine on the last Thursday of every month, giving yourself an experience where you meet the power of your presence every month. And then when you meet the power of your presence, in whatever form that takes, that then catalyzes what occurs for you in the following month. Imagine this conversation that I'm having here with you privately. Imagine having this conversation in community. And the power of community is that it validates the conversation, it grows the conversation, it expands and amplifies the conversation, and it makes the experience even more real. Because we also have all the mirrors of each other, seeing others in the power of their presence and what occurs for them in their world, which then knocks into our world and catalyzes inspiration and intuition and knowing and ideas that we had never thought about before. This is the Presence Room. It is a mastermind because we are working with the ultimate mastermind, the mind of God, universal intelligence. We are working with the God within ourselves, and we are working with the God within each other. There is a 6-month commitment, or there is a 12-month commitment. It is at a very reasonable fee. It is at a pre-sale fee currently, 990 Aussie dollars for 6 months, or $1,650 for 12 months. If this experience that I've shared with you today has moved you, has spoken to you, has spoken to you beyond the mind, has expanded you, has made you curious, has made you go into a place of humility, I welcome you into the Presence Room, into meeting the power of your presence on a monthly basis. Link is in the show notes. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.